candidate will be given 3 minutes for opening remarks, and we'll start with Commissioner Maddox.
Thank you, Mr. Bland. I didn't think you would forget my name, though. I am Commissioner Maddox, and I am currently in the midst of running for my second term as Unified Government Commissioner for the Kansas City, Kansas area. I want to, thank Mr. Bland and the Wyandotte West organization, along with other entities who may have helped put on this program. I'm excited to be here. I'm just as excited as I was day one after winning my election in 2011. I simply, like I said, want to send my gratitude to all of the people that are here who have come to listen and hear about the various things. I will also say this: after serving 4 years in office, I will not come in here and sell dreams. I will not come in here and say a bunch of stuff that I will do for citizens to garner a vote. I will sit here, I will tell you the truth, and I will give you my experience and my ideas of what we need to do to continue forward in this community. It is my hope that as you, the voters, that you will open up your heart, not to what you've heard through gossip, through phone calls and emails, but that you open up your heart and you listen to a young man that's, one, passionate about his community, two, passionate about the people who live in Wyandotte County. And I want to assure you this: in my early 32 years as an elected official, I ain't going nowhere. And I'll say that again, I ain't going nowhere. I'm going to be here in Wyandotte County. I'm a dot. I'm born and raised here, and I'm glad to be here, and I'm hoping after April 7th, let's scratch the hope. After April 7th, I expect to be your commissioner for a second term. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Bland, and I thank everyone that is here today and all of the organizations that have sponsored this event. I am Harold Johnson, and I am a candidate for the Unified Government Commissioner, 4th District. I am a lifelong resident of Wyandotte County. I have lived in the 4th District for the majority of my life. I graduated from Sumner Academy, class of '86, Kansas City, Kansas Community College, class of '89. I also earned my MBA in finance from Avila University, and I'm glad to have my wife here with me in support. I grew up as a son or as a child of a union household. My father worked at the Ford Motor Company for over 30 years, after which he retired and began to pastor our church that I now pastor. I learned from him the value of a solid work ethic. He showed that if you're willing to put in an honest day's living, that you should earn an honest wage, and that hard work makes your life a lot better, and that for yourself as well as for your community at large. And so I took that into the banking industry after I matriculated through school. I worked specifically at Commerce Bank, and I developed a program for nonprofit organizations. I was the lead person for that. Worked with nonprofit organizations across the metropolitan area, worked on multi-million-dollar projects where we would either provide financing or commercial banking products and services for them. Had a chance to really learn about a lot of great organizations that work for the betterment of our community. And in 2006, I succeeded my grandfather, as the pastor of Faith Deliverance Family Worship Center. I do have a vision for the 4th District. Again, as I've said, I've lived here the majority of my life. The church where I minister is in the 4th District. And I believe that we have a wonderful district in the 4th District. And I want to be one that creates a strategic vision with those wonderful neighborhood alliances that are in our district. I do believe that the neighborhood alliances, the neighborhood groups, are the lifeblood of our district. And I have already begun meeting with some of them just to hear them and to hear their concerns and to share ideas with them. And it's been a wonderful experience for me to be able to do that. And I believe that by doing that, we can create a strategic vision for our district We don't, we can talk about the things that have happened in the past, but I am one that looks to the future and want to talk about what can happen. So again, I want you to remember my name. My name is Harold Johnson, for County Commissioner, 4th District, and I thank you for this time.
That was about 5 minutes.
Now we'll turn to Rachel Jefferson, who is with the Historic Northeast Neighborhood Association, and she will ask questions of the candidates, and we will start with the incumbent, Mr. Maddox.
Okay. Many feel that neighborhood association input is critical to the health of Wyandotte County. How will you ensure effective communication with neighborhood organizations in District 4?
Thank you. Ever since receiving my seat, in fact, before receiving my seat, when I was campaigning for the open seat of the 4th District, I went to the liberal neighborhoods and pulled the sheet of neighborhood association presidents at that time. And so many of them I reached out to even before being elected to hear some of the issues and concerns that plague their community. And so not even a month after being elected, I sat down with various neighborhood association presidents all at one time, and we discussed a game plan and different things that we wanted to see in the 4th District under new leadership. So in my experience in the 4th District, I've always reached out to all of the neighborhood association presidents when there's been things going on at the commission level. I've sent out a robocall. All neighborhood presidents get them. If we're speaking about the pit bull ordinance, they get a call 2-3 days in advance saying, hey, come up to the commission level and see. So it's always been my goal to engage the neighborhood association president. Unfortunately, probably out of the 10 or 12 we have, 8 of them have been very interactive with me. 3 or 4 of them, for whatever reason, don't answer my call back. A few of them hung up on me and said some things. And so I've always lent a hand to all of the neighborhood associations in my district. And in my second term, I expect to do nothing different, which is go to their meetings, update them on what's going on in the unified government, and see if there's any concerns that I can attend to make the community better.
Mr. Johnson?
Thank you. I think, again, as I've already stated, that the neighborhoods associations are the lifeblood of our community. And I do believe it is about developing genuine and authentic relationships where I think that the primary focus should be listening to those neighborhood associations, seeing what they say. They may not always say things that we like to hear, but I think it's very vital and important that we listen to them, and they will tell you the things that are on their minds. It is about developing a one-to-one relationship, not just with the presidents, but also the individuals that make up those neighborhood associations, to give up their time, to come out to the meetings, to express their concerns. And so I would see myself as one that would listen, that would respond to them genuinely, though it may not always be something they may or may not want to hear. I would be genuine in my response to them, but to develop those relationships with them, and be mindful to return calls when they send calls to me as well. And so that is what I think is vitally important. And through that, I think that you can create a unified vision for the 4th District specifically by listening and by responding properly to those concerns. And I think that that's the way that we can grow our district and help to be able to create a vision for that district.
There has been tremendous growth in Western Wyandotte County. What will you do as District 4 Commissioner to increase home ownership east of 635?
We'll start with Mr. Johnson.
I think we need a multifaceted approach to that. Certainly, there has been great growth. We definitely need to see growth in the Eastern Corridor, and we do need an economic shot in the arm in the corridor. Home growth and purchase of homes is vitally important, but we also need a multifaceted approach. So that means that we need to look at not only persons trying to help people purchase homes through different types of incentives that will lend themselves to that, but also look at how we can also look at creating other rental type of needs for persons that want to have a duplex or an apartment complex. We are in a renter society nowadays. Even out west, We can see the growth in those apartments that are being built out there, and the demand is even higher. So we want to make sure that we create a multifaceted approach for home ownership as well as for those that want to have rental property.
Commissioner?
Thank you. That question is a complex question because it can never warrant just a snapshot answer. First, I want to say that I am proud of the development that has happened out west that has somewhat sustained the economic growth of this county. Without Western Wyandotte County, where would we be financially? But also, we have been neglected, and that the Northeast, the Midtown down has been somewhat neglected, and that has really been my platform since being elected. One thing, when you ask about home buying, I think it's probably been 10 to 15 homes that have been built in the last 3 years in the 4th District. Well, all of those homes are $130,000, $140,000, which is really out of the reach of the median income of citizens who live in that area. And so when you have homes built, there's still an issue if the buyers cannot afford the rent, the rate. And in fact, I think most people sometimes would like to take that option. If they had to pay $130,000 or $140,000 for a home, most of them would probably move out west. And so one of the things that we have to do better is, one, we have to decrease crime. We have to make 4th District, again, a place where people want to be. When you have crime, when you have poverty, when you have a lot of the elements that are in place, people find it as an undesirable place to live. And so, one, you have to build economic development by maybe apartment complexes that are median to high income where people move in. You get more rooftops, you get more revenue inside of the 4th District. Then you can kind of make the district look better on the surface to where people want to relocate there and buy homes. And so it's a complex issue.
Okay. This should be the last question.
Okay. What will you do specifically as District 4 Commissioner to spur business revitalization in District 4?
Okay. Mr. Johnson?
Well, I think that we do have to look at the small business model in particular. We want to look at different incentives by working with our partners such as the Chamber, the Wyandotte Economic Development Council, in terms of finding ways that we can leverage some of the larger businesses that may be out west and even other areas to try to build small businesses and build the infrastructure in the urban core. We definitely need a shot in the arm, and we need to be deliberate in our terms of our approach to being able to develop a format and a space for businesses to come into our community and to be able to be successful. And not only that, but to create jobs for persons in our community as well, and incent them to create jobs for our people in our community. That is to say that we have jobs in our community, but all too often people come in working at the jobs and they leave our community and take those dollars elsewhere. So we want to create those the type of environment that is pro-business, that will encourage new growth for businesses, but also job development as well, and that will encourage them to spend those dollars those discretionary dollars in our community.
Commissioner?
Thank you. Again, a complex question. Often, a business owner is more apt to move into an area or an arena where they know they will make due dividends at the end of the year, finances to sustain their business for years to come. So it's still a dilemma that we face in the 4th District economically. The issue that faces the 4th District is only headed by one other district, which is the 1st District. The 1st District is the most impoverished. The 4th District is the second most impoverished. And so when you want to lure small businesses into the community, one, you have to make the district more pro-business. Like, again, reducing crime, again, increasing the rooftops in which people live there and the median income among citizens. And so it's a complex issue. Again, I will continue to sit at that table and go around, and a lot of times we'll see the small businesses come forth, and it'll come from people who are in the community. I always get on the phone, I call them, I encourage them. I ask them, how can I be of assistance? I make sure that the zoning and planning process goes through smoothly. And so I will continue to be that advocate. But to build the median income of the 4th District is something that's probably 10 to 15 years out, and it's a stretched out process. And so.
Now we will have our closing remarks, and we will start with Commissioner Maddox.
Thank you.
You have 2 minutes.
Thank you. I got to start and end.
That's right.
Must be the commissioner way. So again, in the 4th District of Kansas City, Kansas, I'm glad to serve the citizens. I've met a lot of people. I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot about the landscape of Wyandotte County, some things that I've learned that I would have never learned. I'm proud. I'm glad to be here. I want to be here a second term. I expect to be here. In the meantime, I will continue to represent the 4th District in the best way. I've made 95% of all of my meetings at the commission level. I also represent this city on a national level through NBC Leo, which is the National Black Caucus of elected officials across this country. I will continue to encourage young people to be involved in the political process so that this community will become the place that it needs to be. I will continue to work with my elders who have the wisdom and knowledge and the experience that of things that have come through this community that they can impress into me, and hopefully that I can spread into the community and speak from at the commission level. So again, I want to thank you. I want to thank my family and my wife that's over there I'm representing with this beaded necklace that my children asked me to wear up here with my attire, and so I'm thankful that you guys are here. Again, I've seen straight faces in here. I've seen mean mugging faces in here. I see smiley faces in here. At the end of the day, if you want to see more about Commissioner Maddox, I have a Facebook page. One cannot deny the work and engagement that I've done in this community, and I'm going to continue to do it. You can act like you're blind to it and say that you've seen other stuff and heard other stuff, but if you're paying attention, I'm active and I'm engaged, and I'm looking for the voters to get out and vote April 7th. Commissioner Maddox. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Johnson?
Thank you, Mr. Bland. And again, I want to thank everyone that is sponsoring this event tonight for allowing us to have this space. Again, my name is Harold Johnson. I believe I bring a unique commercial financial background to the table, which I believe will make a positive impact in our community. I'm not afraid to look at numbers. I'm not afraid to review and analyze and make practical decisions that I believe will be a positive influence in our community. I'm also a consensus builder. I do believe in the power of teamwork. I believe in developing relationships one person at a time. And so I will continue, as I've already started to do, to build relationships with our neighborhood leaders and those persons that live in those neighborhoods to, again, listen to their concerns, to respond genuinely to their concerns, to make sure that we are looking out for the overall good of our community. I believe I have the experience, I believe I have the dedication and the support of organizing community around issues of concern, and I'm going to work very hard for the 4th District. Again, so I want you to get out on April the 7th. Remember my name, Harold Johnson, for Commissioner of the 4th District. Thank you again for your time tonight, and I look forward to talking to you individually tonight.
Let's give the candidates a hand.